Hey, how's it going? So today I'm gonna start with featuring a self-published author, and that is Laurie. So feel free to go check out her author page over here. She's got some really cute designs on the cover, and if needle felting is your thing, or anything crafty, I guess Laurie would be the person to go and have a look at. Okay, so I'll include this in the description below. But today we are going to talk about cover basics as part of the self-publishing free YouTube video series. And like we did last week, we're going to start off with the summary because I don't want to miss any important points. So the first thing we're going to cover is how to set up your cover design or your cover specifications according to KDP. And for paperback, you need to know the interior page count, which is why cover design, comes after you've got the interior pages figured out. Make sure, so these are just kind of general hints and tips I want to share. Make sure your cover design fits in with your niche, but it has to also kind of stand out. And I use what I call a thumbnail hack. So you basically shrink down the image and put it next to a page on Amazon, and see if your cover stands out. See if you can read it from afar. So that's the thumbnail hack. For specifically for paperback, you need to have bleed on your covers, and we're gonna go through the KDP specifications for ebook and paperback, and we'll cover that in a bit more detail. Finally, make sure you get independent feedback. Okay, you have to get independent feedback. Your mom or your best friend probably isn't going to be independent at all, unless you've got very honest close friends or family. And this I keep saying this. I personally outsource some of my graphic designs because my skill level just isn't good enough in some cases, so I do outsource. But let's dive into it today. So let me pull up Amazon, and we will start with book cover for ebooks, right? And I'll include the link to this in the description below. But KDP kind of tells you a lot about what they expect. All right, image ratio 1.6 to 1, and you can read here for every 1000 pixels in width, they expect 1600 pixels in height, and this is the minimum dots per inch. You can go higher, and your image has to be less than 50 megabytes. Color profile is RGB, not CMYK. So you can have a read, and I'll include this in the description below. So that's ebook. It's not too difficult to set up. All right, in your favorite program. So I'll briefly run through Canva, but I'm gonna go through Canva for paperback because that's a bit more involved. Let's jump to paperback. So I'll include this in the description, of course. Paperback submission guidelines. Now we're gonna look at specifically your cover over here. All right, the cover, and KDP's actually got a cover creator. It's got built-in sort of picture files. They're not great, if I'm honest, but you can use them if you want to, and they are completely free. Now, what they actually tell you, common points of failure. I strongly suggest you read this because a lot of people kind of have questions like, why isn't my cover file working? And it might be because you haven't flattened objects, transparent objects, or there are layers in your file, so that kind of trips people up. Excessive blank pages, you can't have that, of course, but that's more an interior file issue. So cover specifications for the paperback. Over here you can calculate your cover size, or I'll show you an automated way to do it as well. So cover width is the bleed, which is, they actually tell you what the bleed is. The bleed is 0.125 inches or 3 millimeters. So you do 0.125 plus the width of your paperback book, back cover, and then a spine width, followed by the front cover width, and finally the bleed. So that's the width of the book. That's like a full page spread. And if you look at this one, cover height, so they actually tell you it's pretty basic. Bleed plus the height and the bleed after that as well. So you got to decide what book you want to create, and they kind of give you spine measurements, and you can use your calculator to calculate this. There are different page page types. So this is white paper, cream paper, and color paper, and they have different thickness on the pages, so that's why they're slightly different. Now, what I personally do, okay, this is what I do. All right. Oh, before I forget, they actually tell you the spine text. You need more than 100 pages. Otherwise, you can't print text on the spine. So just bear that in mind. But this is what I do. I like to go to this page here. I'm all about trying to get things done a bit quicker. It's called Paperback Cover Templates. So choose your template of the paperback you want to publish. I've got here 5x8. I put in 100 pages randomly, and I've selected cream. You can choose what you want to do, and then download cover template. And what happens is you get a zip file. In that zip file, you can open the zip file, and this is what comes up: a PDF and a PNG file. Let me show you the PNG file here. There we go. So this is what your full cover spread will look like: the front page, the back page, and the spine. And bear in mind, anything that's within this sort of zone here, this shaded zone, may be cut off. So you do not want anything important to be in that zone at all. All right. So let's quickly hop on over to Canva, and I've got here 10.5 by 8.25. Now this is for a 5x8. So 5x8. All right. 100 page. And this is how you calculate it. It actually tells you the cover width, and we can go through this. So it's 5x8 by 100 pages. So the first thing we do over here is we do the bleed first. So the bleed is 0.125 for the width, cover width 0.125 plus back cover, which is 5x8, so 5 inches, plus spine width. Now the spine width, we are using cream paper, which is this thickness times 100 pages, so we can do plus 0.025 times 0.025 times 100. This gives us the spine width plus back cover width and bleed, plus a front cover width, plus the bleed 0.125 again over there. That's how you get 10.5. Okay, so 10.5 over here, this is for the width, and then for the height, for the cover height, it's just that. So we'll do the bleed 0.125 inches plus the trim height, so that's 5x8 plus 8 inches plus another bleed 0.125, 8.25. So you put that over here, and out pops this thing. Okay, and I've taken the liberty to just import this template over here. So let me get rid of that. So you can upload the template. So the template was over here. This is the template. All right. So when you import that template, let's hide this so you can get a bigger picture. When you import the template, I like to move it to the corner and then just drag it out to fill the entire page. And this is where I start my process. All right. So I've got the template, and then I'll probably stick in some kind of a rectangle here, and I'm looking for something to give me an idea as to where my art or design should sit. And then I want some transparency there so I can still see. And what I like to do is I will zoom in 200% to see if my box, okay, so you can see my box is a little on the outside. So I'm gonna bring it slightly further in, and okay, so that's not too bad. So my box is a bit off on alignment here, so I want to bring my box a bit further out, not touching, not too far into the shaded area, because that shaded area will get cut off. Okay, so that's what I do. So this is my starting point, fit, and you know, I may or may not keep the back, but this is where I start, and then I might put in some text, you know, Merry Christmas, let's say. Okay, and Merry Christmas will have to fit in. So let me just remove the back, because I don't need the back anymore. This is what I will do. So you can make that fit fully, or you can make that a little smaller and then move that sort of, so this is centered, and centered both sides, horizontal and vertical. Change the wording, add some graphics, you know, so you can do whatever you feel like once you've got this going, and then you can add something on the back cover if you feel like. So this is basically my kind of short process I wanted to cover. Paperback does take a bit more time. I'll include links on all these below. Now I want to show you this article by Reedsy, and it says how to choose the right book cover dimensions, and it's a great read. They've got some examples here that you can check out. So I'll include that in the description below. But that's what I wanted to cover today. So this is literally the basics of setting up your cover and then starting your design. Alright, and finally, make sure you consider hiring. Not my personal preference. I sometimes outsource to Fiverr because I may not have the skill for it. If it's basic, then I'll probably do it myself. Otherwise, I might hire out. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and I shall see you in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.